I got my matcha, I got my Pilates Fit, even got the matching set on, and I'm ready to put in 2 hours a day, 3 times a week to make my 10K months. You guys, it doesn't work like that, okay? Fuck. In what fucking universe, okay? Because it doesn't work like that, sweetheart. And I know that this feels like a lot. Sorry, let me reel it in. Okay, let's debunk high ticket remote sales, all the myths that are behind it, what you can actually expect. Number 1, is matcha necessary to close sales calls? You know, I might actually have to agree with them on this one. It's not necessarily matcha, but maybe some caffeine, because if you're doing calls back to back to back, the caffeine can keep you up, keep you excited, keep you charismatic, okay? But seriously, no, you don't need to drink fucking matcha if you don't want to. If you want to, fine. While matcha can help you, it's not gonna be the main reason you're closing sales calls. A lot of these calls are probably gonna be unqualified. So when people are saying, I'm gonna stack your calendar with qualified calls and a great offer, that doesn't always exist. Especially when you're first starting out, most of these business owners are going to give you shitty prospects because you're just getting into their offer. You need to learn more about their product. You have to understand the client avatar. You have to study the offer. There is so much work that you have to do when you first get into an offer. So you may not close your first call or your second or your 10th. But as you start taking more calls, you get better, you understand the product better, you're gonna get thrown better calls. So want to clarify that. Number 2, hitting your first 10K month in 30 days. Not possible, especially if you're new. Even some of my most experienced closers don't do that because it depends what happens when you get in the offer. There's a lot of variables here. It's not just your ability to close, especially when you're good. You have to have a great offer with great what we call OTE or earning potential so you can make the $10,000. To give you an example, if a business is only making $10,000 a month right now on average, is it possible for you to make $10,000 in commission? Fuck no. Because the business is only making $10,000. If you're making 10% commission of the $10,000, you're closing every deal, you're making $1,000 in commission. That's just a simple example, but you get the point. You have to be in an offer that's gonna allow you the ability to make the $10,000 that you want to, which means the lead flow has to be good and consistent. The price point has to be high enough. If you're selling something that's $1,000, good luck. You wanna make 10,000? 10% of $1,000 is 100. You do the math. How many calls do you have to close to make $10,000 a month? A lot. So since we're talking about money, let's talk about commission. How does this whole thing work? How do I actually make money from this process? I'm gonna make it super simple for you and give you the industry standard. Most setters make 5% of every call they set to close, meaning the closer actually has to close the call for the setter to get paid. That is a standard practice. They usually make 5% of that. To give you an example, if a closer closes a call for $10,000 and they collect the $10,000 on that call, you would make 5% of that. 5% of $10,000 is $500. See how that works? Some businesses will incorporate a base salary or a draw. Usually I've seen this average anywhere between $500 to $3,000 a month in base salary for setting plus the 5% commission. So base plus commission, depends on the offer. For my closers, standard practice is 10% commission. So if you close a $10,000 deal paid in full, you would receive $1,000 from that, which is 10%. There are a lot of variables to this, a lot of different variations in commission structures. So I'm just giving you the simplified version, okay? There's a lot of companies that have tiers where you can make more than 10% once you cash collect a certain amount. You cash collect $50,000, sometimes they'll give you a bonus or move you up from 10% to 12.5%. Same thing with setting. You set 50 calls and are able to help us cash collect 50,000, they might move you from 5% commission to 6. But honestly, don't even get caught up in the weeds of that because if you can just be great at closing, great at setting, it won't even be a problem, you'll get paid. Next on the list, you can't work 2 hours a day. I'm sorry to break it to you. People are talking about financial freedom, location freedom, time freedom. Wrong. So fucking wrong. High ticket sales gives you location freedom, meaning that you can work from wherever you want in the world. It does give you financial freedom, meaning you can make as much as you want to. There's uncapped earning potential. But the time freedom, especially when you're starting, doesn't fucking exist because time freedom means that you are not obligated to anyone else's structured time. You can create your own schedule and or have no schedule and still be making money. You can't do that in sales. Why? Because you have to have calls on your calendar, and especially when you're starting, you need to have a lot of fucking calls on your calendar to make the commission that you want to make because your closing rate's probably going to be a lot lower. So you are going to be chained to your desk for the next 90 days until you get better at sales, and maybe even up to 6 months. What's cool is you do have the ability to have a flexible schedule because you can create your own schedule. But most of you guys who want to do the 10K months can't be working 2 or 3 times a week for 2 hours and close those deals because your conversion rate is not 50 fucking percent. It's 10. So your bitch ass is going to be taking calls from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 7 days a week for the next 90 days. And if you're lucky, after the 90 days, you can make your schedule from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 5 of those days. For those of us who want to be doing $10,000 in commission a month. Okay, that's a little bit dramatic. You're not gonna be taking calls from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. But it's still gonna be like a regular 9 to 5. The benefit is that you get to work remotely. That's the whole idea of the location freedom. And as you do get better, you can create a calendar on an offer that has a high enough ticket that's maybe 5K or 10K. That's maybe above 5K. We're looking at 10K offers, 15, 20, so on and so forth. That is where you can have less calls and make more commission because the ticket offer is higher. Next on the list, I could be here all day for this. Can you do this part-time? If you want to work 2 hours a day, every day, and close deals, and go buy shopper designer bags, buy cars, and designer watches, but you're gonna be poor. Your credit card's gonna be maxed the fuck out, you're gonna be stressed the fuck out, and you're gonna be in crazy debt. What you're gonna do is live within your means. Actually, you're gonna live below your means so you can save money because you wanna keep saving money. And you're probably still working a 9 to 5 or some corporate job. Or you're not working a job, which means you're probably living off your savings, which isn't terrible. In high ticket sales, no business owner wants to be told that you can only work part-time. Like, think about me. I'm someone who gets 7 calls on my calendar on a day-to-day basis. You mean to tell me that you gotta work from 9 to 5 and then you gotta like relax for a little bit and like watch Netflix and like Love is Blind and you gotta make dinner and socialize, but you can dedicate 1 to 2 hours every night to take calls. And you want me to be okay with that. You gotta be out of your fucking mind. Especially when you're in your first 90 days. Especially when you're first getting into an offer, even if you're experienced. You're gonna need a lot of time to study, rewatch calls, learn the actual product, reflect on your own sales calls, get better at this process. Like, no matter whether you're experienced or not, like, you're gonna need a dedicated 90 days in an offer to get comfortable, get some calls underneath your belt, get some clothes underneath your belt, have clarity on actually what the offer is. Like, you don't even really fully understand an offer until you've sold it like 20 to 50 times. For me, I need to say something over and over and over and over and over again, and then I need to go back and replay it and then ask questions and get more clarity and do all these things to really see the full thing. I need to understand the client journey. I need to understand their pain points. I need to have 20 different people I'm speaking to who have different objections so I can know how to navigate all of those things. Like, you need time. Stop rushing your process. If you're looking for instant gratification, it's not fucking here. That's for damn sure. And that's not even how life works in general. So stop trying to cut corners on life. That's not how this shit fucking goes. While I'm saying all of this, I'm fully aware that it sounds very intimidating and you're like, wow, Lo, you're really selling me on this high ticket sales thing. I really feel like I should jump into this. It is a great avenue and I'll explain that in a little bit, but I just want you to know the reality of this. The 2 hours you want to put in daily for this is not going to cut it. What I will say on a positive note here is that your part-time energy, which might be a designated 30 hours per week, like you work at 9 to 4 and then you can dedicate the remainder of that day 4 to 9 to studying and taking some calls and learning. It is a possibility in offers, but what that's going to do is just maybe limit the offers you can start in, and that's okay. We have a lot of entry-level businesses, some middle-tier businesses, and then we have the big whale businesses as well. The offer you start in may not be the offer you end in. I mean, that's the goal as you're advancing and getting better at this process, but the reality of that is get the 10K months out of your head and start thinking about, how can I get my first close? How can I make my first 1,000? How can I make my first 3,000, 5,000, 8,000, 10,000? And in your head, just creating an expectation of this advancement, because it's totally possible. I have people like Tracy who made $26,000 in commission in 1 month and had never done sales before. I have people like Zarina who was doing over $30,000 in commission in a single month. I have people like Adria who just closed her first 2 deals paid in full at 4K. And she's someone who was a business owner who transitioned into getting into high ticket sales and is even using the skill set to close for her own offer as well. And then we got the newbies, people who have never done this before. And Tracy was one of them. Tracy had never done sales, $26,000 in commission. Insane, totally possible. But she was here for the process. It took us 3 months to find her that whale offer. It took us 3 months to get her that $26,000 commission. The first month, she was lucky if she made 2. And I'm just sharing this because I like to be transparent. Placement, this one's a fun one. So you learn high ticket sales. All these offers out here are saying they're gonna help you with placement. And all they're doing is putting your cute ass in this big ass portal with a bunch of unqualified, unvetted coaches and offers that say they're looking for setters and closers, but are not properly vetted. Meaning, we don't even know how much money they're really making. We don't know if they have consistent lead flow. We don't even know ethically if we love the offer. It's just an offer that comes in here that does make a lot of money. And you are stuck with thousands of other people on a list that these coaches can just run through and figure out who they want to talk to. And you have to send in these stupid Loom videos and hope and pray that you get into an offer and someone likes you. And that is annoying, which is why I don't do that. Portals are trash. Databases are trash. You're just another number alongside thousands and thousands of other people who want to work remote, drink matcha, do Pilates, be hot. Or you're just like wanting to bro it out with your pseudo masculinity and get on calls and pretend like you're confident and yell at prospects and tell them that they're fucking losers. Like, all of that you guys are doing doesn't exist. All the sales you guys are seeing online, fucking the guy playing the fucking music and trying to like cold call leads, like buy insurance or buy something, like all of that stuff, guys, it's branding, it's social media, like it's dope and it works. Most of these people aren't even making the commission they say that they're making. Most of these people aren't even utilizing the strategies that they're teaching you guys on their calls, because most of the shit they're teaching you doesn't even fucking work. The let me give you 6 overcomes in 60 seconds, suck my fucking dick. Wow, that was crazy. It doesn't fucking work. Now this just is turning into a fucking rant. I'm over it. This is the reality of high ticket sales. You want to learn from the best. You want to learn in an environment that's boutique where there's 20 people instead of 200 or 2,000, where you get a white glove service, you get offers handed to you. You're not stuck in a portal. You're not in a database getting lost in the faces of thousands of other people. And you want someone who runs their business from an ethical standpoint with integrity that backs everything that they do. Click this link, book a call. Let's have a conversation about how to actually get into high ticket sales and show you the trajectory you can expect and predict that will help you to make that transition seamless. I want to remind you that this is not going to be easy. So get your mind right. Go drink some matcha. Here. Okay. That was fucking great. Let's change your life. I'm done.